From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we tell you how disappointed we are that the Zenkethi fail condition has not been fixed yet.
I'm Tabbytha. That was Nikodas, and here to tell you that it will be corrected in a future update is Grebog.
Yes, I'm Grebog. Technically, it's already been fixed, but it's in a different universe, and we have not crossed over to that one yet.
Okay, that was pretty good.
It's in a different quantum fissure.
Yeah, we haven't gone through that quantum fissure yet, so we have not had the Zenkethi fail condition removed from the red alert. We just need to find the right fissure.
That was pretty good. All right.
We gotta go fissure fishing?
Yes. All right, so computer run program, Fleet Action Report episode 231, how you do your sigh. And yes,
do you do your sigh?
Greetings, everyone.
Like I do my sigh?
Oh, everyone do their sigh, a different sigh.
Well, that's the great thing about do sigh. Everybody can do their sigh in their own way.
And we'll get into that. We appreciate everyone that's here, listening, chatting. Nimoy, Storm, appreciate you. If you're not here, where are you? And how can you hear our voices? Anyway, we appreciate everyone that comes and supports us. You can also do that if you want to subscribe via Twitch, or if you would rather give money not to Twitch but to someone other service. We also have a coffee account. You can buy us a cup of coffee over at ko-fi.com/GREBOG, and yeah. So
well, you know what the awesome thing about Twitch is that you can be elsewhere but also be here.
Sure. I mean, all the stuff and things.
It's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yup.
Tonight's going to be a little bit probably more free form and a little bit wacky. I'll just go there. We started off wacky. We're going to probably just fall in line with the wacky. Is there a line for wacky?
We just need to accept the wacky and
Embrace
adopt
the wacky.
Grebog, let's start off with you. We never start with you. How's your week been?
My week has been okay. I was gonna say delving into, but that might give you the wrong impression. I've been playing World of Warcraft, obviously, because they released a new island, because their map just keeps expanding and expanding, and more islands keep getting added. I question how people cross the oceans in Azeroth anymore without hitting some of these islands beforehand. Like, oh, hey, there's a brand new island we never knew about. Like, no one's been there in over 10,000 years. And yet we never, in 10,000 years, no one accidentally ran a ship aground there. Anyway. But yeah, so
at least for the Thunder Isles and whatnot, like there was an excuse, right? Like the mist were surrounding the islands and keeping everybody out. And it wasn't until we did some shenanigans that made the mist go away.
Pandaria, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so, I mean, there was an excuse, but most of these other islands, there is no excuse. They're just randomly popping up.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. The world is stable. They're not just popping up out of the ocean like they were on the bottom or something, Anyway.
I don't know, with all the shenanigans going on with Azeroth right now and the Titans and all that stuff.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. I got
play the game if you want to find out.
It's got some good story. But yeah, I was delving into, like, I found Marmaduke, a new battle pet that you can get on the new island, which is cool. There's apparently some other like mounts and pets hidden on the islands that you have to figure out how to get. But yeah, I haven't delved into the rest of those. Marmaduke's one of the easier ones to get. There's a secret, well, not really secret. They send you into this special area by touching a tablet, and if you go back in there after the quest is done, there is a quest that you can pick up off of a journal that's on the ground, and then that starts the chain to get Marmaduke. But as we are not a WoW thing, I'm going to move. I've been playing Star Trek Online. I mastered some ships. I actually last night tossed this ship together because I was wanting to do something a little different on my Dusai setup. And rather than take apart my beam overload I have on the Typhoon, I went with this. And then I've also I played some Mines of Moria with one of my friends one night. That was fun. Didn't get too far into that game yet, but it seems fun. It's a survival game. You're a dwarf. You go back into the mines. You're trying to reclaim them. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's see. I guess eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Nikodas, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
I also played Mines of Moria with that same friend that you were just mentioning. It is an interesting game. It's got some similarities to Valheim. It's got some similarities to I call it Space Dwarves. I can't think of what the actual name is right off the top of my head.
Space Dwarves.
Your dwarves in space, but I'll have to look it up here in a minute. So it's got some similarities to other games, but we spent a good 2 or 3 hours playing around on there the other day. Malcor and I did. We kind of got ourselves stuck because we went to the next map area and didn't have the supplies we needed to build a base. So it's a long story. Anyway, we're working on that. We kind of got stuck a little bit. We're going to have to spend some time running back to our old base to move supplies to the new base, and there's no teleportation that we have found yet, so you just have to run back and forth, and it's a mess. But we'll get there eventually. The only other game that I have honestly been putting any time worth mentioning into is STO. Doing my daily, of course, in Q's Winter Wonderland, but mostly I've been working on. I went ahead and made my Andorian that I was telling you guys about. I was wrong. I have a phaser character on the KDF side, so I put my Andorian on the Romulan side, but the story in my head is roughly the same. They don't like how the Federation is ignoring the Romulans, so they just grabbed their old family ship and went to help the Romulans on their own. And actually that works out really well too, because it gives me an excuse to canonize the story in my head as to why they have SROs on their bridge instead of an all Andorian crew. I can justify that now. But yeah, so I've been flying around. It is kind of interesting though, because in one of the early missions, Tovin Kev is like, hey, we need to use our cloak so we can get close to this enemy. And I'm like, dude, we're not in a Romulan ship. We don't have a cloaking device. We're just going to go in guns blazing. It's one of those, it's another justification, right? Like I have a legitimate justification to look over at Tovin and be like, dude, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
You even realize which kind of ship you're on.
For what it's worth, I am planning on upgrading Tovin Kev because you can't get rid of him, so I might as well make him an SRO and put him to use. And I do have an upgrade token sitting in my bank, so when that character gets access to the bank, I will upgrade Tovin Kev. And then I have a new Ferengi character that I've been dinking around on. He is almost level 20 or just got to level 20. And of course, he's flying around in the Golden Nagus because why not?
Yeah, having
it's
that
actually-
ship makes me wanna make a Ferengi.
Flying around in that ship is a lot of fun. It is. It's not a bad ship, especially since they updated the seating in it. There's some fun stuff you can do. I slapped a fire at will build on there right now. That's kind of been my go-to.
Reminds me of a joke.
What?
So, yeah, you want to know how you can tell it's super cold out?
How?
The Ferengi has his hands in his own pockets.
Oh.
All right, that wasn't bad. That's all I got though. Tabby, what have you been up to?
Oh, today or yesterday was my last day of finals. I took my math final and I barely got a B on the final, which put my overall average for math at 87, which gets me a B for the semester. And so my grades for this semester are like a 99.5 for one art class, a 96.7 for the other art class, and an 87 for math.
Nicely done.
So I knocked it out of the park.
Nicely done. Hopefully, I can claim the same next semester.
But other than that, I played a bit of WoW, and I've been playing some STO, and I've been doing some amateur computer programming.
Amateur computer programming?
Yeah, so I've been
and
wrestling with Linux.
Linux is fun.
If any of our viewers have not looked at Tabby's art yet, the mock-up magazine that she put together, you need to go to our Discord and look that up.
Amazing.
It is very well done, and the articles that she wrote are hilarious.
It's amazing.
I agree.
All right.
So
STO
I guess we're
news.
I guess we're moving on. The Phoenix I'm just going to jump right in here. The Phoenix Prize Pack event is ongoing until the 31st. You can head to Drozana or DS9 for a free Phoenix box every day. There have been new items added to the Phoenix store. In the Epic category, the Compiler Science Dreadnought has been added. Ultra rare, you have the Crystal Power Pack, the Universal Kit Module Crystal Prism, and Evil Lorca's Armor. In the very rare, you've got the Emancipator outfit, the core uniform, the Blinded by the Light pack, which I was saying I need to pick up, and the Black Ops Mine Launcher, which is actually one of the best mines in the game. And in the rare category, you have the Martian Mining Laser. All those are items that were originally in MUDs and have now been moved into the Phoenix store, which they have not added anything to the Phoenix store for a very long time. So I am very happy to see this. Hopefully they continue this trend.
All right, I'm going to take the next two because they're both small and quick. We have end of the year sale, which is now until the 31st of this month. Not much time, but pretty much everything. They said almost everything is on sale for 25% off in the Zen store. Those of you remember, we basically just had a sale like this not long ago. And wait, this says the Mud store has a 75% off sale right now too. I didn't see that one announced. Maybe I missed it. But now also for 2 days and whatever. Let's see. I'm going to compare times with the no, you have 11 days. The Mud sale for the 75% off everything only is 2 days, 16 hours. So this weekend, it's a weekend sale only. Get if you're looking for stuff, now's the time to get it. Because never pay full price for Mud stuff. Also, there is a 20% bonus Zen now until January 2nd. 25% bonus Zen when you purchase Zen for PC. And this means like, so if you're buying like a 1,000 Zen pack, you'll actually get 25% more Zen with that. So more Zen, yay. If you're gonna actually use real money to get Zen, now also is the time to do such things. I know some people like to, hey, we're gonna have a anniversary bundle coming up, stock up on Zen now, so that way they have it for then. And for those that don't remember, typically the sale price on anniversary bundles has been at 13,500 Zen. I looked it up. So if that is a number you're looking to shoot for, like if you're looking to shoot to have money in your Zen balance, that would be an amount to get close to. Next up.
Tabby, you want me to take the next one?
Dilithium event.
Someone.
Yes.
Bonus Dilithium event from now until the 31st, New Year's Eve. You can earn bonus Dilithium and also 20% off of Dilithium prices for ships in the store. The store they're talking about is the shipyard. There is no dedicated Dilithium ship store.
Yeah, fix that.
I always they always say in their article, in the Dilithium store, the ship prices are discounted. I'm like, you people don't remember that your Dilithium store doesn't have a tab for ships.
Yeah, no,
it's got everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty much if you go to the shipyard, there's ships in there that cost Dilithium, and those ships are 20% 20% off. It's as simple as that. Don't go searching the Dilithium store for ships because you're not going to find them. But the 10 vanity shields have returned for the duration of the event. So if you've got a bunch of Dilithium burning a hole in your hull, and you're in the 32nd century and people haven't rated you for, and pirates haven't rated you for it yet, then you can spend it on some cool vanity shields. Other than that, you've got Q's Winter Wonderland, which is still going on until January 2nd on PC and Xbox. Have they still not resolved the PlayStation issue yet?
Well, the PlayStation's able to play it. I just don't know what the end date is for them.
Oh, okay.
Because it'll be different.
Yeah, 20 completions doing the winter activities, which is pretty much everything except for the snowball fight. 20 completions gets you the Ilios Intel Scout Vessel, which if you have seen Picard Season 3, it's the one that from the pilot that gets thrown at that gets yeeted at the villain ship.
No, other way around. The villain ship yeets it at the hero ship.
No, that's right. The villain ship yeets it at the hero ship. Well, there's yeeting and the Ilios is involved.
Yes.
Yes. Yeeting happens. Ship yeeting.
There was a bug with the console, and it sounds like they have already fixed it. Because you used to be able to extra stack the buffs that it can give out, and now you can only get one stack of each buff type for its abilities. Because apparently if you've triggered it multiple times, you got multiple of the same stack.
Aw. But some new vendor items this year are the Nano Pulse Edge Ushantor, Nano Pulse Retro Batleth, colors red and blue, Anar Ushantor side blades, a few ugly sweaters, Moopsy Smile, Moopsy Jaws, Tuvix Orchid, and the Mark Twain suit. Now that's the ugly sweater version of a Mark Twain suit, not the actual Mark Twain suit. And then for Winter Wonderland weaponry, try to say that 3 times fast. The Candy Glass Ushantor and the Wonderland transformation. Snow person. You can turn yourself into a snow person and wreak some havoc.
Okay,
All right.
so for our primary target today, we are going to be discussing Dusai. What is Dusai? Dusai is directed energy weapons supported with science abilities. I guess I'll go ahead and read through this introduction here, guys, and then I'll let you take the hat because you are much better at Dusai than I am. There are some trade-offs with Dusai, as you are not focused on directed energy weapons nor science powers specifically. However, it is still a build that when set up and built right, it can exceed 500,000 DPS. Though with new traits and consoles, this has boosted the Dusai damage even more, so that number might be lowballing a little bit. Strengths, it gives the ability to control where enemies are or to weaken your enemies' defenses, meaning they will take more damage. Weaknesses, you cannot focus on a single thing to boost. Like if you put all consoles on there that are boosting your directed energy weapons, then you're missing out on the science side of things. So there's more of a balancing act between damage and science. There are several different strategies to these builds, and it comes down to your playstyle and the ship that you're on. For example, one design is to push the standard directed energy weapon build, but use science powers for triggers of consoles or traits. Another method is to lean more heavily on the science side to debuff, control, and support your team. And in this case, this is where things like crit would be more effective than maybe
Control X,
damage.
which is control expertise.
There you go. Which would be more handy than some other options. It just depends on what you're wanting to do. And that's it. You guys can take it from here.
And so a little bit on, so when you're doing one, obviously your play style, but like if you're going to go more of a heavy like energy weapon side, you're going to probably do a lot of similar builds that you would for fire at will, surgical strikes. You know, you'll be focusing on whether you're going for crit or just flat out damage. Those modifiers typically are the ones that people love to stack tons of. But if you're going heavy science, you'd go for more control expertise, exotic damage. And if you're going for a balanced, you're gonna want a little of everything, which may seem weird, and it can be very effective in a support role. Yeah.
Well, a lot of this too is based on what ship you end up flying. I mean, if you build on a ship that has a secondary deflector, that's going to change what you're looking for from a ship that does not have one.
Yeah. Well, like, so I'm in the Chekhov. It has a secondary deflector. So I could easily, and it has a lot of science console slots. It could easily go with a heavy science build. I didn't go that way because my playstyle, I prefer a little bit different. I kind of like them more. Yeah. But so like when you're looking at ship equipment, that like this is like you said, the secondary deflector. If you haven't been paying much attention, you're always going to want one that has, you want the deteriorating secondary deflector. A crafted one is just fine. And this one has Control X on it, has EPG. It would be great for technically a science build. I am using it kind of to boost the science side of this build, even though I'm not really focusing as much on it. But I also like there's so much to talk about here that we could go into. But yeah, the deteriorating secondary deflector, there is one that you can buy from the Which one? I know the colony has one, but that's not the one that people have been going for a lot. The one at the colony is not terrible. It's a pretty good secondary deflector, but there's another one out there. I can't remember where which holding it comes from now off the top of my head that people like to use as well. But I would just go with crafted. Craft is easy enough to get a hold of. And you can re-engineer it how you like it.
Also, like I think the Imperial Ref set is still up there, isn't it?
Imperial.
That's an old event.
Oh, you're talking the Revolutionary, or that's
Yeah,
not
the
a bad
Revolutionary
set. If you're going heavy science, the Revolutionary set is a great set to have at your fingertips. Do I have it accessed on this? I don't know that I've claimed it on them. I have access to it. I haven't claimed it, I don't think. But
that one doesn't have a secondary deflector, does it?
No.
Okay, but it's the bonuses that go into it, right?
Yeah, it's the set bonuses are quite nice. Let me just go to my Reclaim store and grab it, because it's not.
See, I'm on mine. This is the Proton build that we put together, which is a Dusai build, but I'm using the Solanae set for my secondary deflector because it boosts proton damage. So it's different from what you guys are talking about. Oh, and shields, apparently.
Okay, so more details, because when you pull it out, it increases your damage resistances for the 2-piece, and gives you turn rate, but it also gives you a massive amount of exotic damage, critical severity, and yeah, it's this set. If you can get a hold of it, if you missed the event, that's unfortunate. It is a great science one, though. Like I said, there are other ways to put together a build without some of this stuff. It's just became one of the top science sets.
Temporal and the Reputations is another good set for science.
Yeah. And honestly, with the way the meta's been changing as late, because they keep releasing new stuff, and that alters the meta. So, yeah, like now there's a new shield out there that people are wanting. Like the Kenmore Alliance regenerative shield is now considered the new meta shield instead of the Tilly's.
Oh, that does not surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. That is a really, really good shield, especially for anti-proton builds. But anyway, we're not talking about that today.
But even like if you're going for an energy weapon build, you can go grab that Kenmore shield. Otherwise, like the Romulan advanced prototype engines is typically always spent. A lot of people love it. It is one of the better impulse engines out there. For science, for directed energy weapon, it's good. When you're going for your weapons, this also. How would you say? A science Audi? Are you wanting to go heavy science or heavy, like what do you do? A science tank? See, that's a whole nother ballpark. Like there's that's another new thing that is popping up, is science tanks. And if we want to go into that, I'd have to pull out my compiler, because the compiler makes an amazing science tank. But we're talking directed energy weapon science tonight. I'm willing to help you, Storm. Just hit me up another, like when we can do a whole nother episode on.
I would love to get somebody in here for our Enter the Workshop segment. We haven't done one of those for ages. So, hint, hint, if you want us to do a build for you, come join us for Enter the Workshop.
For weapons, like I said, the modifiers typically people like to go with damage a lot. If for heavy energy weapon builds, there are also builds that like to do crit damage and crit hit, that stack enough, because both critical hit and critical damage do affect your exotic damage and your energy. Now consoles and traits are where typically your science or directed energy weapon, which side becomes the focus and gets the most bang for your buck, I guess. Emphasis. What you're flavoring for? Which Mrs. Dash flavor you picked up and sprinkled onto your ship? Because like some of the consoles I like to do when I'm doing a heavy directed energy weapon build is go with something that gives me a crap ton of fire cycle haste, and the Iwani console with the fleet power network array is one of the ones. And the nice thing about this console is the fact that it also gives you exotic particle generator boost and maximum aux power, which kind of fall in with the whole Dusai. Feel like I'm the one talking.
Well, I'll take over for a little bit. So, as Grebog's saying, the desired bonuses, again, fluctuates a little bit on what ship you have, but typically for these builds, fire cycle haste and then maybe some exotic damage might help. There's the Gemini console that was, I don't know if you mentioned that when you talked about the L1E, but I don't think you talked about the Gemini.
I did not.
So
Not yet.
the Gemini console. Sorry, go ahead.
Or the Voven. I didn't talk about that one yet.
Okay. So the Gemini console offers both passive to exotic damage, and then on use, it's clicky, grants fire cycle haste. So that one hits both. You've got the subspace fracture tunneling field from the Voven that gives 30% hull regen, and then on use, it teleports you in front of your enemy. So there's a little bit of a movement boost there. Those are both good in general on directed energy weapon builds, but the fact that like you get the extra survivability, you have the exotic damage that can help on these too. And again, the next segment we have is talking about bridge officer powers, but this really depends heavily on what ship you're flying and what seating it has, what you have access to. But some staples on these Dusai builds, like for science powers, you're going to want gravity well, tractor beam is handy, scramble sensors is always good as a trigger for some of your traits and console abilities. For your tactical powers, you primarily want to focus on your firing mode, whatever firing mode you decide to go with. And my ship is moving again. I really need to click off of there when I do that.
Fire at will.
Fire at will is a really good one. You can also do, beam overload, cannon rapid fire, cannon scatter volley. You can do the specialty firing modes, surgical strikes, suppression barrage, reroute reserves to weapons, recursive shearing, exceed rated limits. Those are all dependent on what seating your ship offers you. And like if you're wanting to focus more on directed energy weapons, then you don't necessarily need Gravity Well 3. So if you're in a ship where your tactical console or your highest seating is science, but it's also a specialty seat, okay, maybe you want to run Surgical Strikes 3 instead of Gravity Well 3, and you can bump Gravity Well down to 1 because it's grouping your enemies together, but it is not your primary source of damage. So you got to pay attention to your seating and what you have available. It is worth noting that you can do something similar with a torpedo build, and mix science powers into a torpedo build. That has always been kind of the common way to run torpedo boats, especially with gravity well. So what you're doing in these Dusai builds is something very similar to that, but you're focused more on directed energy weapons, not the torpedoes. So keep that in mind. Tabby, you want to talk about traits?
Sure.
To share
So
the
with personal traits, some of the options that you got, there's a couple of recommended options. Unconventional systems, which is a lockbox / exchange item. What that does is your control bridge officer powers reduce cooldowns by 7% for all universal consoles. So the more universal consoles you get, which, I mean, who doesn't have a bunch of universal consoles nowadays? I think that's what each one you have reduces it by 7% or something like that. I forget exactly how that one works.
Well, here, I can read it for you. Unconventional systems. Using a control bridge officer ability reduces recharge time of universal consoles by 7%. So every time you hit some control ability.
Oh, there you go. And then, of course... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what it means by controllability is anything that affects the movement of your enemy ships. So gravity well counts. Your tractor beam counts. Several of the temporal bridge officer powers, like timeline collapse, which is very similar to gravity well, those are all control powers.
A great way to go figure out what exactly it is, if you go to stowiki.net and look up unconventional systems, it lists every bridge officer ability that counts for this. If you have questions on what exactly everything gets counted for certain traits, you can look it up on the STO wiki and get a very detailed list. The people that work on that wiki do an amazing job on putting all that together. And yeah.
Or, jump on our YouTube channel and you can look it up in our show notes. I'm sorry, that was a shameless plug, but I had to do it.
This is our show.
I'm just saying, there's sources of information.
Our own show.
Don't get me wrong, I do love the wiki. I use it a fair bit. We use it for a lot of our notes and our builds and stuff. So it is a good resource, but it's our show. I want to plug our show.
So let's see here. And also, of course, pretty much every build uses the Boimler effect, which if many of you have just gotten that massive infusion of Lobi crystals from concluding the year-long winter event, if you wait for a Lobi sale, you can pick it up for a cool 160, which means you could get Boimler effect on almost 10 of your characters.
Almost.
And pretty much, and I mean, that's going to be a best in slot trait for almost every build in the game. So I mean, that's a good buy. Or if you just happen to be credit rich, then you can just buy it off the exchange.
Boimler, cool.
For starship traits, you got Vanguard Specialist, which is a specialty powers uptime and cooldown. Emergency weapon cycle, which comes off the Arbiter. Arbiter / Morrigu / whatever the Klingon ship is. And I mean, that's a staple for just about any energy build. Then Entwined Tactical Matrices, if you are doing a Fire at Will build, that's going to help your Fire at Will uptime. And generally, you're going to want a torpedo with that. Would you like a torpedo with that?
Yes, yes, I would. Supersize mine, will you?
Oh, one high yield coming right up. Oh.
We said it was
So
going to be goofy. We warned him. We warned him.
we warned y'all. Super weapon ingenuity, which gives you beam overload uptime. Withering barrage for cannon scatter volleys increases the up. That one's actually a really easy one to get if you've got a Klingon recruit. You get the your free T6 bird of prey pretty early on. You max the mastery of that ship. You get it account wide, and you get it withering barrage. So that's a gimme. Go for the kill, which is a cannon rapid fire uptime. Then temporal tunneling. Atlantis using exotic or wait, the Atlantis, is that the ship it's off of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Using exotic or temporal operative bridge officer abilities triggers a plus 100% fire cycle haste.
That's the when we did the alternate build for Grebogs last week.
Yeah.
Week before last. That's the trait that we were using for that build.
For a deuce size ship, it is a pretty amazing trait to have. I would kind of put it in a must-have if you're doing deuce eye.
Which one is the Atlantis?
It's the one with the vertical nacelles.
Also, the from Wolf 359, the Challenger, or that's the other variant of it. What's the Challenger? I'm not a big fan of the appearance of the ship, but I think it's supposed to be a pretty decent ship. The trait, though, is pretty amazing for deuce eye.
And it worked really well. I was pretty impressed with that build, actually. It's worth noting that we didn't list, because of the time limit of our show, trying to keep it to around an hour. We could have given a lot more information, but we had to keep things limited. So we listed the starship traits that specifically affect the firing modes, and depending on what ship you're on and what firing mode you want to use is going to determine which one of those you're going to pop on your ship. The rest of your trait slots, what you are looking for is things that are going to either increase fire cycling haste, like the temporal tunneling from the Atlantis, or maybe things that increase your damage, your crit. Crit is a big one because as I wrote down earlier, it does affect your science abilities just as much as your weapons. So this might be one of those cases where you want to go with like the exploiters, the tactical advanced consoles rather than the isomags. But some of that depends too on what ship you're on, and do you have the tactical consoles to make it work, or do you have the engineering consoles? But like I'll show you here on my science destroyer, this is definitely a Dusai build. I went with the isomags, but I didn't pick a specific energy type. I went with beams. And then down here, I did the same thing. These are auto-targeting modules that increase usually your damage type. So like if you're doing phaser build, you would want it. But this is a mixed build with proton weapons and the protonic polaron, which also deal proton damage. So I wanted to find a way to increase the proton damage. So I just went with a general beams setup to it. So a lot of what you do for these Dusai builds is going to depend heavily on the ship you're flying, the seating you have available, and what weapon types you're wanting to use. And again, you can do something similar with torpedoes if you really want. But again, you're going to have to tailor your consoles accordingly.
Another good personal trait that we didn't mention that I found, I think, after I put my notes into the show notes, is Fragment of AI Tech, and it gives control expertise and energy weapon damage from control expertise. So the more you stack control expertise, it boosts it. Right now, just with what I'm sitting at, I'm getting a 24.6% energy weapon damage boost based on my control expertise. So it is a pretty yet another works great on a DSI build. Though it is yet another lockbox trait, so you'd have to buy it off the exchange. Typically, like unconventional systems and Fragment of AI Tech run around 40 to 50 million EC when I've picked them up. So not terrible in price, but you definitely probably have to save up a little bit depending upon how affluent you are with EC. I mean, that's what, four lockbox keys?
Something like that. Although the price went up, so maybe 3, 4, yeah, something.
Well, now that we're having another sale, their price is probably going to go down.
True, that's true. I hope the information we shared with you is helpful. We will be doing more segments like this, where instead of going over a build, we're talking about types of builds and what you might look for if you're doing that build. That does not mean that we are not going to do build videos. We will, especially as new ships come out. I'm already low-key working on something for the Elios. Just because I like a certain type of build, and that ship is set up for it quite nicely. So we will talk about that in the future. Anyway, just to round out our show, you guys want to go take our ships and run a patrol real quick, just to kind of blow some stuff up?
Yes.
Sure. We doing it on elite?
Ooh, we can.
Or advanced?
I actually have elite. I'm good with elite. We haven't done that for a while. Which one do we want to do?
We could go say hi to Madrin.
Sure, we can do that. We can go.
AKA 9th through our. So we setting it to elite.
I did, yeah, and okay. I'm launching.
I just wanted to be clear before, like, I was partially joking, but partially not.
I'm in.
I'm good. I'm coming.
Looks like
the Carter is ready to assist you.
This is gonna be fun.
Lead the way. Sure got
and Grebog is shooting off. Here we go.
Vessel, Marauder class. They've decloaked.
Leave enough of their ships for salvage.
I fully Borgified Nova class.
Orions and Ferengi working together. Yeah, this'll end well.
Makes me glad I grabbed a whole lot of X's for my ship.
Dirty work for us.
There, I pulled the enemies in. Blow them up, guys. Got my gravity well going. Kaboom. Oh, I took some damage in there. Got a little close to those explosions.
Yeah, I noticed I was a hair bit squishy, hence grabbing the whole lot of X's. Starship trait, or not starship, personal trait.
Here we go. Oh, Mokai. Ooh, this might be bad. That's a temporal power you're using there, isn't it? The great big field.
Yes. I have a lot of. So once again, I'm using the temporal tunneling. So some of my temporal powers and control stuff, I just put on the spam bar because I do not care. They're here to give me. They're here to give me fire cycle haste.
Gotcha. I might need to throw that on this ship, actually. That might be really handy.
If you can't tell, the temporal tunneling is probably one of my new favorite, like, Dusai traits.
Well, like I said, your build last week was really impressive. You were right. Despite my initial misgivings, and I did have some. Well, it is on Elite, Tabby. Be careful out there.
Oh no,
and they're sending
Mokai.
me flying. Yep, they just sent me flying. Okay, come here, boys. We're not done with you
Mokai,
yet.
mo problems. Where is this Cleave battleship going? Other than running away from... Stop running the F away from me. Oh, there I went. I wasn't paying attention. I should have hit my hazard emitters. Oh, also, I was chasing down an enemy. I should have just went to the next closest.
There we go. Got that one down. Ooh, where did my shields go? They powered down my shields. That's not fair. Ah, they finally got me.
I need to repair.
I was doing pretty good there for a minute. Oh, wow, it's throwing me right back in the action.
Yeah, they've gotten really close to the spawn point.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Q is raiding us. How have you been, Q?
Oh my god, it's you!
That's been a minute.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I was like, how have you been? Been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to catch him streaming in quite a while.
That's been a hot minute. Hello, Q.
Here, everyone have a protection shield.
Oh, thanks. That would have been handy like a minute ago.
Are you saying his protection shield isn't good enough?
Oh, no, not at all.
Are you ungrateful?
It is still appreciated. Okay, come on, speed up. Get in there. And we're done. Oh, that wasn't terrible.
I only got annihilated once.
At the very beginning, yeah.
Well fought. Well fought. Modron's on his...
Well fought indeed.
Let's see. What was Q? Does my thing tell me what? Power Unite. Don't know that one.
Which one? Who, what, when, where, why, how?
He was streaming Tower Unite.
Oh.
Which is something I said I don't know that one. A lot of action on the screen. Yeah. For those that are new, so I am Grebog. My screen is the bottom middle.
I'm Nikodas. I believe I'm the top left.
And I'm Tabbytha. I'm the top right. I'm flying the adorable little assimilated Nova.
It's a cute little ship. Little?
Well, Modron.
Little?
Well fought. Modron's on...
I'm flying the Chekhov.
I am in the KDF version of the Dyson Destroyer, the newest one, the Tier 6 version. We were doing a Dusai theme today and talking about how to put Dusai builds together, which was fun. And then we decided we would stir up some mischief and just go blow some stuff up.
But yeah, Dusai.
Let's since we just got raided, let's do one more and then we'll call it a night. I know we're running a little over, but we just got raided.
We could also hit a random TFO or something.
We could.
Let me fix my ship. I took beam weapon damage.
We could, but if we do a random TFO...
Yeah, if we do it like a random regular one, it won't matter.
I'm going to do advanced, but I'm going to queue for space only, so it's not exactly a random.
Okay.
Did you get the little blinky?
Yes.
Yes.
I am not going to the surface. I is not going to DS9.
I get it, Q. Like sometimes you need a break from a game. It happens.
Wee.
Wee woo. Hopefully you're enjoying your break from STO.
And we still appreciate the raid, man.
Yes.
Oh, hey, there's Nimue.
You've been here.
I just flew over her ship.
Oh,
Like she was in the Alliance carrier, the Jarak.
How many
Here we
ships
go.
here?
Alrighty.
I mean, work can sometimes be a pain.
Tell me.
Or I guess maybe pain's the wrong. Work can sometimes keep you extra busy. That's probably the best way to put it. Oh.
Oh, man. I mean, I like this one, but
I mean, we're still in our ships. It just doesn't look like our ships.
hey, I'm in a simulated one though. I've still got my simulated cosmetics. This totally breaks canon. There weren't any board
counting?
ships at Binary Stars.
I still have my vanity shield going. I'm sure there was a ship with purple accents out there.
You're
Yeah.
you're just from the purple universe. It's fine. Why
No,
why would you
I
do
like
basic
my visuals though.
why would you
Like,
do
my
basic
visuals
gray
are
when purple's
intentional.
available?
This is my liberated Borg. Like all my ships have assimilation effects.
Here we go. Oh, and of course I went right for the sarcophagus ship. That probably was not my best move ever.
So did I.
Well, someone's got some good control in here.
Oh, I pulled them in. I'm just trying to get myself out before they kill me. Which, honestly, I was never really in any danger there, so...
I think the good control that you're seeing is the fact that both Nikodas and I dropped gravity wells on the sarcophagus at the same time.
That's hilarious.
I just know, like, all of a sudden, whoop, they all went in, and I'm like, someone's got some good control in here.
Well, that's kind of the point of Dusai, right?
I do like me a control build. Maybe I have to set up another control build.
You had a really good one at one point.
I do have one on another captain.
Ooh,
All right,
heavy damage.
thank you
Heavy
so much
damage.
for dropping Q. We will see you
Darn it.
next time.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for the raid, Q, and get some rest.
Indeed. Sleep is not overrated.
I mean, sleep is for the weak, and we probably all get very weak if we don't get sleep.
That is not the cat that is usually meowing at me.
I remember when I was younger, I could stay up all hours, all like so many hours, and it didn't matter. Now, nah. Now I would like to have a nap in the middle of the day.
That happens sometimes.
Decentralized immunity. Go!
Come on, get that Dreadnought.
Protect me, little buddy.
Got him. Going back after the sarcophagus. Yeah, I
too
definitely
live
need to put that.
dangerously.
I need to put that trait on here, Grebog.
I love, like I said, temporal tunneling for Dusai build is just the bee's knees, as some people say.
Yeah, that's going on this build. I think I'm going to be working on that tomorrow.
I
It's
think I'm
only
gonna
mastering one ship. It won't
beat
take
this
very long.
build some more, and then it'll be spectacular or something. Oh no,
I
I
think
died.
I think the firing haste would go really well with the proton damage here.
So don't sit between two gravity wells where everything's getting sucked in and blown up.
Well, you
that,
know,
that hurts.
It's like in WoW, don't stand in stuff. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Yep, that hurt.
I didn't feel a thing.
The sarcophagus ship tractored me right between two exploding ships.
Brace for impact.
That was painful. I'll tell you, those enemy tractor beams, man, those can be painful.
Much better than player tractor beams. Go figure.
Computer, freeze program.
I am back on. There, the sarcophagus is deactivated again.
Interesting.
Well, hey, damn it, Jim.
Yo, that's another name I haven't seen for a while.
Damn it, Jim.
I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's like it's been a while.
The Clark and Jaeger are disabled. They're launching escape pods. Recover the survivors. The Klingons
See, we talked about it on our fun night, like giving up the adult card, go back to the kid card, you know, when you could take like naps and didn't have really any responsibilities.
And people didn't judge you for doing so.
Yeah, you know. So one of the things that you're seeing me do is I have a graviton tunneling lance with this ship.
Oh no.
And it shoots out this graviton
Run, Tabby.
pulse.
Decentralized immunity.
I'm trying to pull them off of you.
See, the Terran Pathfinder, no, the Terran Trailblazer is an amazing ship. You get a great ship, a great trait, and a life-saving console.
I actually have that ship now. There was a really good reward console that we got not long ago for survivability too. It makes you immune to all damage.
Oh
when
yeah, I
you're-
need
when
to
you're hauled.
reclaim that and equip it because like that and decentralized immunity, forget about it.
I mean, at least they should give you a chance to hit some buttons.
Yeah, we've rescued 40 pods. Or actually, technically 52, but... All right.
I got a Dreadnought I'm working on, and then I'll go find more pods.
I'm going over to the next exclamation mark area. I guess something we didn't mention, on do-sci builds, you typically want to have high aux power. Because science, everything from aux is important. And if you find the traits and what not, there are traits that help, like increase your damage based on your aux power, and you can use that like basically double dip into the that whole.
Attention, Klingon
Yeah.
leaders. I'm Admiral Red Anderson.
Whereas
we
me,
got all the
because I'm running a
pods.
pilot ship and also Dragon's Blood reactor, I'm actually like running really high engine power.
Offer of a ceasefire is
That's fair. On mine, I've got 100 in weapons and 70 in aux because of the control powers I'm using.
to receive my envoy.
Okay.
And this is where physics go out the window. Again.
Don't even go out the airlock.
Well, we're glad to see you, Jim. I mean, work can suck sometimes. I almost didn't make it tonight myself. I was scheduled to be off just shortly before stream started. Luckily, I wasn't held late, so...
Ouch!
Turn. There we go. Get that battleship.
Oh, that's a sarcophagus.
I'm coming. I'm right around the corner.
Nope, I'm boosting away. Pilot ships can get the heck out of Dodge real quick.
And while you use your pilot maneuvers that you have, it gives you temporary immunity. If you didn't know that.
The sarcophagus has been disabled.
Too many instances. How
Oh.
dare.
I need to try to get mine eventually. I don't. What level is the deer in there? I'm worried that it's going to be like max level. And
I mean, if it's in the that's not a very high level instance.
It would probably be a 60 level 60 instance popped out.
What are we talking about? Oh, the reindeer hunter pet. Okay.
World of Warcraft added in the ability to get reindeer as hunter pets. That there's a rare variant that has a glowing red nose.
But you can only get it during this time of year, right?
You only live now to serve as witnesses of Klingon supremacy. To be my herald. We do not desire...
I don't want to be Harold. I want to be Tabbytha.
Standing as one under Kalish, reborn in me.
If you really want to know about the reindeer,
I think we've seen enough for now.
there's this indie dev site called Wowhead that will tell you all your World of Warcraft
Thank you for
needs.
your participation.
And there we go. All right, guys. That is going to do it for our stream tonight. Please join us Monday for Fun Night. And next Thursday, we will be doing another structured stream where we talk about some aspect of the game.
I think we have accolades on the books. Though let me check the calendar. That is the 26th. So for some people, they may be busy with family. Well, I don't know what you two have scheduled. Hopefully, we'll have to make sure that that's okay.
I don't have anything on the 26th. I'll be here.
I think I don't have anything. I'll have to check.
I should be good, but yeah. Hey, if you're tired of dealing with your family and want to come hang out with us, we'll probably be talking about accolades and how you can get them and what the bonuses of actually getting said things. We won't pester you about, well, I don't know what your family pesters you about. Come join us.
I do want to point out to you guys that Monday I am having a family Christmas dinner at my house. Now that's supposed to start at 6, and I am sure people won't be here until 10. I would be really surprised, but that is a possibility. So I might be late to Fun Night, but I will be here.
Cool. I'll be here. I have no life. Anyway.
As always, everybody, I will see you out there.
Have fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
Stick around. We will be rating somebody, passing on this love that Q gave us. And yeah. Live long and prosper, everybody. Computer, end program.